You're listening to Small Wonder Radio. When I was younger, I thought love was butterflies. And I thought it was feeling nervous on the first date. And I always thought it was some grand gesture. It had to be shouted from the rooftops and posted all over social media. I realize now the depth of true love is stable and it's quiet, but it is felt so much more, and it resonates with you because you seek out the actions to back up your words. Whereas puppy love or love in your 20s is more, for me at least, it was more about the toxicity. I know it's some trauma related stuff, but honestly, I feel like for me, if it didn't hurt, then it wasn't love. Like if nobody fought, then it wasn't love. Because when I fought with my partners, I was like, at least they're fighting, at least they care enough to stay and fight for us and what we have. It's just not it. It is not love in a healthy form. And honestly, it really just reflected my abandonment issues and really spoke to the little girl inside of me who felt abandoned. And so instead of respecting myself, my self-worth, and what I brought to the relationship, I shrank myself down in order to feel any sort of resemblance of love for whatever partner. I shrink myself down so incredibly small just to feel loved, or, just the bare minimum of what this person could provide me with, and I would confuse that as love. But today I'm going to talk about what love means to me, and also how respect ties heavily into love. With my friends and my loss of friends, as I spoke about in my first episode, I realized that for me, I can't love somebody and root for them and support them with my whole heart unless I respect them as a person. But I didn't realize how much that would affect me, because when you're in your 20s, or again, I'm not trying to generalize, but for me, when I was in my 20s, it wasn't about like respect. It was just the fact that we have been through so much together, so we're always going to stick by each other. We're always going to have each other's back. Even if you're in the wrong, I will have your back until we literally ride or die. So I was so focused on giving people my loyalty, but I never really received their loyalty back, number one. And number two, I don't think that they ever respected me. And I think that they knew I did not respect myself, because if they did, or if they had, they would have, first of all, they would have gone to lengths to ensure that I would stay in their life. I think that the friendships, the relationships would have looked so vastly different. It would be a stark contrast to what I had experienced then. That's such a big ideal that I never understood was such a strong foundation to love somebody, is to have that mutual respect. Just thinking about it now, it was literally an epiphany I had today, and I was like, that's a podcast episode worthy to speak about. I never realized how deeply rooted respect runs for me in my personal life and my relationships. All of my friends are amazing in their own right. The people I've curated to text, to go and spend time with. Time is that currency you will never receive back. So I don't BS about who I put in my life and spend my time with and speak to. Again, time is the most expensive currency that you will ever have. Everybody has time. Everyone in my life I respect so much. There are reasons why about who they have become and who they're becoming, and I respect them, and I know that they respect me. Therefore, I know that that friendship is good and solid, stable and healthy. That goes the same for my husband. Before I met him, I never knew what stability was. Even now, I'm having such a hard time. It depends on the situation, of course. but it's difficult for me to shake off the trauma and the toxicity. My nervous system is so dysregulated because of the trauma from previous relationships that it has been difficult to maneuver through healthy relationships. And I don't think that I've ever heard anybody discuss this, how being a ex-toxic person, not necessarily because of like what you may have done, but what other people have done to you, and because of what has been done to you, you of course react, and people will point fingers at your reaction instead of what they've done in order for you to react that way. That is my cat in the back, so I'm sorry if you hear him. He is psycho. That being said, respect goes such a long way. When you have a super toxic friendship or relationship, you are unknowingly or very knowingly, depending on how self-aware you are, you're bringing that to your future relationships, whether it's platonic or business or personal, whatever it is. You are unknowingly bringing that along with you. And I think it's so important to recognize your own patterns. If you look at the root of it all, it is about respect. Like RuPaul said, if you don't love yourself, how in the hell is anyone going to love you? Well, I don't know if that's quote unquote RuPaul, but you get the idea. It's not exactly like love or self-confidence. It's respecting yourself, respecting what you've gone through to become who you are today. And it is such a gravitational pull when I meet somebody who I know respects themselves, because I know if you respect yourself, I'm going to respect you as well, because I know you're not going to be a foolish person. I know that you're stable. That respect, I feel, is so crystal clear because of how different it is in contrast to your previous relationships and friendships. In my 20s, love was a feeling, but in my 30s, respect is love in action. And I think it's so powerful, because how can you love somebody? How can you be in love with someone or share your life with somebody with someone you don't respect? And honestly, if you're in your 20s, I'm giving you some good stuff, okay? Because you can probably skip a lot of therapy if you understand that love and respect are different, but they need each other so much in order for you to have and curate healthy relationships in your life. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you have a wonderful day as wonderful as you are, and hopefully I will catch you on the next episode.